Well, good evening, Facebook friends and family. It is one of your favorite Patriots speaking. This video is going out to all my fellow Canadian and American Patriots that are fighting hard to save our nations. I decided to do a video addressing both us Canadian Patriots and to our American Patriots in the South, because I think it's time to unite Canada and America like we once were. Canada and the US had such a strong bond, such strong allies with one another. And over the years, you have seen it be diminished and destroyed. And I think that both of us, both countries, both nations, and both its citizens are dealing with the same issues. Hey, Colleen. Hey, Suzanne, sorry. It is time, Canada, and it is time, the United States of America, to take a stand together like never before. It is time that us patriots say goodbye to political correctness, say bye to corruption, say goodbye to anything and everything that tries to destroy our way of life, and say hello to the power of the people. It is the power of us people, the citizens of our great nations, that will save our nation and the rest of the free world. I believe that they are working hard behind the scenes to take away our rights and our freedoms within these two great nations. And the reason that they are working so hard is because they were aware how difficult it would be to take over Canada in the US. That's why you find them working so hard behind the scenes to keep us distracted and us unfocused. Because they need Canada and they need the United States to complete their plan. But us Canadians and us Americans aren't easily fooled. I want you to share this video out to anyone and everyone who is willing to listen. I want them to hear from an individual who was a lefted-minded liberal, who lived his life defined by his identifiers, lost in my race and my sexuality, not realizing that I was losing something that was way more important. I was losing my country. I was losing the love for the Canada I grew up in. Watching them take away our rights and freedoms right before my very eyes and my very nose, and not flinching about it. Simply following because I was being taught and being indoctrinated into what I should believe. But I no longer will sit back and watch Canada and the US be sold out. I have friends all across this great nation of Canada and through the great nation of the United States. And it is time that we mend that relationship between the two nations. Yes, the United States has more in population than we've got, but we are such strong allies that we need to repair that relationship that the corrupted have destroyed and diminished. They knew that it was going to be difficult to take our nations over. They knew that Canadians and Americans were very patriotic and loved their nations amongst all other things. They knew that they were going to have to plant correctly. They were going to have to keep their plan on point. Because they knew if they were going to have any success of gaining globalism, they would have to conquer Canada and the US. Hey, Marlo. But what they didn't realize is that the patriotic blood that runs through our veins is so strong within us Canadians and in us Americans that it's not easily broken. You may think you have us lost. You may think you have us blinded. But we aren't going to go down without a fight, because we're not going to go down. We are going to unite these two great nations that will be the saviors of Western civilization. We are going to take what Europe is going through and what Australia and New Zealand and many other nations across this globe are going through, and we're going to assist them in gaining their strength. We're going to assist them and the rest of people within our nation to shed our identifiers and to simply be known of our country of origin. So that would make me Canadian first, last, and foremost. The answer is very simple. Hey, Tracy. The answer is very simple to how to unify us, to bring us together. It is so simple, yet people make it so hard. Just to look at yourself in the mirror and say, I am Canadian or I am American. Be proud of it. Because many before you fought so hard to give you these nations that we take for granted. The very freedoms that we have that are being stripped away from us, our rights. People, many lives were given so we could live this life. But it's going to cease to exist if us within this nation don't come together. Canada, wake up. America, wake up. To my Canadian patriots and to my American patriots, don't stop. We are reaching people. More so than you think. Quit using the word doomed. Because we are not doomed. Doomed is for those who are given up. And we will not give up. This Canadian will not give up until I have wakened up as many as I can. It is time, Canada and the US, that we take our nations back. That we say enough. No more corruption. No more political correctness. No more globalism. These are our nations. Our veterans fought for these nations. And you will not shit on them and think that their lives were taken in vain. It is our veterans we need to stand for, the flag we need to stand for, the anthem we need to stand for. Our fallen, we kneel, but we rise to our anthem and to our flag. Our countries are at stake, our freedoms, our rights. And to my gay brothers and sisters out there, you might want to take notice and listen before it is too late. To all my other people of different ethnicities within our nations, wake up. Because the corrupted, the globalists, the socialists have used us. They have sold us our own oppression. They have made us believe so many people out there would hate us. Especially the right, as they call them, or white nationalists, as they call them. When I have gotten more support, more encouragement, more love and acceptance from those far-lefted or far-righted individuals. From the conservatives, if you must call them. It is time that we take a stand, Canada and the US, together, closer than ever before. And we're going to stare right into the enemy's eyes. And we're going to say, back the fuck off. This is our nations. You will not have them. And it's very simple to use your imagination, to close your eyes, to simply imagine our Canadian and our American flags flowing freely in the wind, like we do living day to day. Listening to our national anthems of O Canada and the Star-Spangled Banner, and just feel the chills take over you while listening to that anthem. And then picture the battlefields, our veterans on the battle lines, face to face with the enemy, to save us all. To show that we will no longer be silent while they try to take away our nations. You need to realize how difficult it is for me to take a stand. This anxiety, this fear that wants to hold me down. It wants to shut me up. But I won't. Because our nations mean more to me than my fragile emotions and my ego. I will go to bed with fear, thinking, oh my God, they're going to find a way to shut me up. But my Canadian pride, my patriotism ignites, my spirit is so fierce, saying, Stephen, don't stop. Keep standing up. Someone will take notice. Someone will hear you. Someone will assist you in getting your messages out there to make people feel Canadian and American pride again. To start bringing balance, restoring balance within our nations, restoring morals and values within our nations. Things that they're trying to force down our throats to accept, that morally are wrong. Our values have been tainted. There are too many that have taken within our nation and corrupted it, and have taken it for granted, and have tried to sell us out. Well, I'm sorry, Canada and the US of A are not for sale. We will unite Canada and America like never before. Because our patriotism is bred deep within us. And nothing they try to do will take it away from us. Nothing. There is a reason why I'm wearing this hat, to support the Veterans Coalition Party of Canada. And the reason I am is because it's our veterans that deserve our utmost respect. It is our soldiers, our Marines, our Navy, anyone that is willing to fight for this nation and for our freedoms and rights. They're the ones who deserve our respect and our solidarity. Not these corrupted politicians who sit there and line their pockets and give money to big corporations while the rest of us sit here and get shit on. Well, this Canadian has had it. I have had it with political correctness. I have had it with the globalists and the socialists. And I've had it with corruption. You will no longer taint our nations. You will no longer take for granted our Canada. You will no longer stop us. Sorry, my phone froze for a second there, but I am not stopping until I wake everybody up. Our veterans should be getting anything and everything they desire, that they require. Not some corrupted politician who sits there in their comfy offices, within their luxurious chambers. We had a Canadian veteran die on the streets of BC, of British Columbia, alone, cold, frozen to the ground. And you want me to give a shit about political correctness? I stand with my veterans, our veterans of Canada and the United States of America. That's where my loyalty and my respect will lie. Not with the corrupted politicians, the wannabe feminists. I don't care what you want to label me. Label me a racist, homophobe, bigoted, any other ism, ist, or obe that you want to find to place on me, go ahead. Because you've done it already. When you can sit there and you can call this interracial gay male a racist homophobe, all you're going to get out of me is a laugh in the face. Because it shows how ludicrous everything is and how ridiculous you are. That you will call me a Métis Canadian who is gay. You're going to call me a racist homophobe. Do you realize how ridiculous you sound when you're saying those words? The reason you're meeting resistance now from us is because you've taken all meaning away from any of those words. They're just words. You've used them so much, they have no meaning over us anymore. When you can call me a racist homophobe, you sound nuts. So I want this shared as far and wide and far it can be. To let yourself feel your country of origin. To feel Canadian or American. That's where your loyalty needs to stand, is with thy nation. Not your ethnicity, not your race or your sexuality or what's between your legs. But stand for your nation. And I've said it many times in many other videos. When they come for my voice, whose voice are they going to come for next? When they silence us patriots, ones with the strong spiritual voices, who are they going to come for next? You. And when they come for you, you're going to wish you stood in solidarity with us patriots. Because now they've silenced us, and now you no longer have a voice. We're not just standing up for patriots, we're standing up for all citizens within Canada in the United States of America. Us patriots are trying to protect the rights and freedoms in this nation for generations after us. I will not let the corrupted win. I will not let the globalists take away my Canada. I won't even let them take America. I have many friends and family that call America home. And I stand with them too. Our veterans. I know I'm going back to our veterans, but that's where it lies. That's where I was able to resonate with my nation again. is using my imagery, picturing my veterans, stepping outside of my realm of thinking, adding myself to different groups, talking to Christians, to Catholics, to veterans, to people of different races and faiths and ethnicities to gain as much knowledge and wisdom as I could. And our veterans, it lies with our veterans. We must stand for them so their fight means something. So they fought so hard for us. And it is so heavy on my heart when I see the ungratefulness, the self-entitlement in our nations. These so-called people calling themselves educated. I'm sorry, you're dumb. You've been lied to. I was lied to. I fell for it. It is okay to be wrong. It is okay to admit that you were wrong. I was wrong. I voted for that narcissistic, idiotic prick, Justin Trudeau. I voted for him. And that's why I feel that I must stand up harder now. I so easily gave my vote. I so easily was fooled. But now it's time that I fight even harder to take away that vote. And to make people wake up that the corrupted politicians within Canada and the US of A are nothing but corrupted, socialistic globalists that have been bought, that have tried to sell us and our people out. And when I mean our people, I mean us Canadians as a whole and us Americans as a whole. You are not Native Canadian. You are not African American. You are not a gay Canadian or a gay American. And whatever else you want to put before the Canadian or American. No. You are Canadian first, last, and foremost. If you were born in the States, you are American first, last, and foremost. These nations are going to mend. Our relationship's going to be stronger than ever. And we're going to stand together, Canadian patriots and American patriots, to stand together against the globalists, the ones that like to be known as the elite. They are on notice, and they are panicked, because they know that we are awakening at a rapid rate, that the walkaway movements and the many other movements within our great nations are taking hold, and we're taking a stand like never before. And you're going to see where the true power lies, in the hands of us people, where it should have been from the start. No more will we be fooled by falsified leaders and so-called politicians, because we are awakened now, and we will sleep never again. You have taken advantage of our nations and its citizens for the last and final time. So share this video far and wide, my Canadian and American friends. Let them know that I was a former left-minded liberal individual who was so stuck on my identifiers that I lost what mattered: the love for my nation, the love for my Canada, that I will stand on guard for thee, the true north, strong and free. And I will stand alongside my American brothers and sisters as well, to ensure that our nations become united like never before, that we show our force in numbers, that we unite arm in arm across both of our great nations to send a strong and powerful message that no more will we be fooled, no more will we be bought, and no more will you shit on our veterans. And if I ever hear anyone say they are asking for more than we have to give, they deserve nothing but a smack across the face. Because if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have our nations. If it wasn't for our militaries, we wouldn't have the rights and freedoms. If it wasn't for them, our land and our countries would have ceased to exist many years ago. But they knew They knew what they were doing. They went after what they call the weak countries first. But they knew that Canada and the US were going to be different. Because we as individuals and our veterans and our seniors and our elders built our nations with their hard-working hands. They knew that the patriotism runs deep in us. That they were going to have to orchestrate their plan a little differently than when they were taking over Europe and other different places around the world. They knew it was going to be difficult. They knew that we had some of the most rights as citizens than any other nation in the world. The U.S. has the Constitution. We have the Charter of Rights. We have more rights and freedoms within these two nations that other nations around the world only wish they could have. That's why they knew that they had to orchestrate it and plan it as smoothly and as correctly as possible. But somehow along the way it got bumpy. Their plans got a little foiled. And I know there's a lot of scandal happening with Justin Trudeau within Canada. And I know you need to focus on it as well, but always focus on the background as well. What are they trying to distract us from? This whole SNC-Lavalin thing seems very, very easy, that everything's just falling on their laps, just falling in front of them. Ask yourselves, what are they hiding from us in the background? I want everyone to realize and to understand that I was a Trump hater and I was a Trudeau supporter. I remember watching the U.S. election, and when Hillary was losing, I was screaming at the screen, "I hate you, Trump," and I really didn't even understand why I hated the man. Because I was spoon-fed that I should hate him, and these are the reasons I should hate him. I was that blinded. But then when I seen how people were attacking him and what they were doing to him, and I was actually listening to his words, he was on to something. And they needed so badly to shut him up. But one thing they didn't like about Trump is, unlike most politicians, he can't be bought. People need to realize that that supposedly racist, bigoted, homophobic president of the United States doesn't take a cent of his salary. And of course you're going to get people that say he's a billionaire. Why would he need $400,000? Well, if he was such a greedy, narcissistic individual, wouldn't you think he would keep that money? Because he's that greedy? But no, he donates his quarterly salary. That's more than I can say for Justin Trudeau. Because that's all he is. It should be Justin Trudeau, because there's nothing going on between his ears. If brains were dynamite, he wouldn't have enough to blow his nose. So, anyway, we are going to unite like never before. I'm going to end this video. I want to see hearts and likes going like crazy. Let's unite. Canada and the United States of America. Us patriots are going to keep waking up everyone across our nations. We're going to get everyone to resonate with patriotism and love for our veterans, and picturing our American and Canadian flags, our national anthems playing. We're going to take our nations back. We are not doomed. We are only doomed if we lay down and take it. But we're not going to take it. Because Canada and the United States are not for sale. We won't let you have them. And we will say, over my cold, dead, patriotic body, this is my Canada, and you will not have her. And I will speak for many of my patriotic American friends. Over their dead bodies, over their dead patriotic bodies, will you take their nation. So Canada, the U.S., come together, unite. The more we have in numbers, the more frightened they're going to become. The more panicked they're going to become. They're going to become even more erratic and irrational. So be prepared for the battle. Be prepared for the fight. But when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. And what do I say at the end of every video? We are all diamonds, unbreakable. And sometimes our diamonds get a little dusty. But we will not break. We will dust ourselves off and we will shine brightly again. But we're going to be a unified group of diamonds. We're going to shine so bright, they're not going to know what hit them. Share this off to as many people as you can, and I hope that it opens the eyes to the blind. That it takes their blinders off and rips them off like Band-Aids so they see how ridiculous some of the things that they see and think, how ludicrous some of it is, and how wrong some of it is. We will gain our nations back. Why? Because I said so. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to keep talking. And believe it or not, there are people reaching out to me, wanting me to go on a so-called tour across the nation. But I want people to know one thing. This isn't for popularity. I'm not doing this to be popular. I'm not doing this to be famed. I'm doing this because I love my nation. If I had the resources right here and now, I wouldn't be sitting at my desk in my home office. I'd be pounding the pavement across this great nation, and who knows, maybe within the United States of America as well. But I love you all, and remember to shine bright like the diamonds that you are. You are unbreakable. Even at times where you feel that you are, you aren't. You are an indestructible, unbreakable diamond. Just dust. Dust yourself up, shine, and rise again. I love you all. To my patriotic Canadian and American brothers and sisters, keep up the good fight and never give up.